TV Crazy Man here. Today I show you some hilarious goofs from the Andy Griffith Show and some super fun facts you'll love. Plus at the end of the video I put together all the stuff I know about Mayberry and all the other TV characters from other shows that have roamed the streets of Mayberry. On the first episode of the Andy Griffith Show, The New Housekeeper, after Emma leaves the courthouse, is Andy mouthing Barney's lines or just trying to get a word in edgewise?
For garden, keep off the grass signs and everything. Well, Mayberry's just gonna turn into a regular sin town. Gonna turn into a regular sin town.
I kind of think Andy knew what Barney was going to say before he said it.
Oh, you took the word right out of my mouth.
Of course, this is the episode where Aunt Bee learns to fish and play baseball to impress Opie. On account of Opie was sad for losing her housekeeper Rose to holy matrimony.
You're not losing me forever. I'll come back and visit a lot.
Rose never did, of course, but she did have a doppelganger show up for a couple episodes named Clara Lindsay.
You picked me to be your deputy because I was the best suited for the job. And I want to thank you, Cousin Andy.
In this episode, we learn that Andy and Barney are cousins. Aside from maybe a couple more mentions in the early episodes, future episodes don't ever mention them being related anymore.
We'll be ready for him.
Episode 2 marks the first appearance of Otis, the town drunk.
Well, how about just staying one more night?
Sorry. Tonight's choir practice.
Streets, everybody off the streets! There's gonna be trouble!
Barney!
Everybody!
Barney!
Now just who is Barney yelling at? There's nobody around except for two checker players. On the episode, the guitar player, James Best, makes his first appearance as a guitar player, but everybody wants to know, did he actually play that guitar?
Are you kidding? I have two guitars, which I did.
But he did act like he was playing the guitar very well. In this episode, enlargements is misspelled. And if you find something in this video that I misspelled, just let me say my wife was the one that found this goof, because when spell check is turned off, I'm in trouble.
I don't believe I know you.
I'm Ellie Walker.
Of course, this episode marked the first appearance of Ellie, who was by far and away the best girlfriend that Andy had on the series, even though he felt Eleanor Donahue was too young for him. I mean, I don't know. He got a lot more grumpy when he fell for Helen Crump. I mean Helen Crump.
I'm not quite sure I know what you're talking about.
In this episode, they had a pair in a scene that didn't want to sit still.
There's a worm in it.
Opie, that's beside the point.
Maybe there was a worm in it because he was up and down 2 more times. Of course, maybe I'm carrying this thing a little too far.
You don't have to carry the thing that far.
Why not?
Cause.
You know, I think I caught Andy littering.
See if you can find yourself another catcher, Opie.
I think Andy must have thrown his catcher's mitt into the street. Here's a magic trick from my favorite Andy Griffith episode of all time, Christmas Story. Watch Barney swap Christmas cards in a blink of an eye. It proves that Barney's hands are quicker than the eye. How'd he do that? You know, he always did say that his hands were lethal weapons. Let me slow it down for you so you can actually see Barney's hands in motion. Just imagine seeing this face coming towards you in a dark alley. Barney Fife is, he's one of my heroes. He taught me everything I know. Watching the Andy Griffith Show. Thank you. I thank you very much. See you later. This is Claude, the Kung Fu Ninja Cat, signing off. From Freddy Cat Cartoons. Bah.
Hey, Aunt Bee.
Why, Sheriff Taylor?
Have you ever noticed on old TV shows the occasional mysterious hand pulling a door shut? Apparently someone got paid to do that.
No, it gets more peculiar all the time.
Keep your eye on Floyd. As the mayor speaks, Floyd mouths the words right along with him.
Lights into hollering one more time, I'm gonna bust a gusset. Lights into hollering one more time, I'm gonna bust a gusset.
Well, where Barney's been all the morning?
What?
Well, there's that hand again. You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd swear that Mayberry looks like it's made of paper sometimes. Nah, it's probably just my imagination. I don't know, I think he was aiming right at Andy. That was really close.
I just got other things to do. I'm just too blame busy to die right now.
It just goes to show you that no matter what, the good guys always win in the end. In this episode, I found an instance where Barney Fife breaks the law of all people. Now Barney, who's going to clean that up? Now this may even be jaywalking. I'm not really sure. I was never very good about that law. And I'm not a law expert, but should Andy be parking next to a fire hydrant? Here's another amazing magic trick. In this episode, the skipper from Gilligan's Island, Alan Hale Jr., plays a farmer named Jeff who's on the hunt for a wife. Now Thelma Lou walks past the skipper and Barney to get coffee from the kitchen. There's no time jump or anything, but somehow she materializes in the living room without even having to walk past them.
How about that, little buddy? Ain't that a good one?
Believe it or not, Alan Hale Jr. called Barney Fife Little Buddy a year before he called Gilligan Little Buddy. It was a phrase that he liked to use.
Nip it! Nip it in the bud!
Now, according to my research, Nip It in the Bud first appeared in this episode as well. Do you want to see the fastest cow that you ever did see?
Well, Sheriff?
That cow was so fast, it's like 1 second he's there and the next second he's not. In this episode, Otis about knocks down a brick wall. You know, I think the booze is making him a mite heavy.
You bet it is, Andy.
In this particular episode, Barney disguises himself as Grandma Walton. But he just can't make up his mind which dress he wants to wear from 1 second to the next.
That's an animal track.
In this episode, Barney discovers elephant tracks, but it turns out just to be Opie playing around. At least that's what we're led to believe. But it also looks like Opie isn't making a dent in the ground with that phony elephant foot. So surely there must be another prankster involved somewhere. Now this one isn't a goof. Let's just say I can relate a lot to the man in a hurry. So much so it cracks me up to no end. Every time I see this scene where Barney keeps going on and on and on about taking a nap, going to Thelma Lou's.
Yeah, that's the plan.
And he never gets up to go do it. It's just so relatable to real life.
For the love of Mike, do it, do it. Just do it. Go take a nap. Go to Thelma Lou's for TV. Just do it.
I guess the reason I'm putting it on this video is I just gotta see, is there anybody else out there who relates to me? Or am I just in too big a hurry all the time? I mean, I've always got to be doing something. So please, post your thoughts in the comments. Can you guess what Superman, the Andy Griffith Show, Batman, and Star Trek all have in common? Today we take a look at the Andy Griffith Show town set that was used before that in many scenes of the adventures of Superman as Metropolis. This area was part of the RKO 40 acres lot in Culver City, which before that had been used for Gone with the Wind and Tarzan movies of the 1940s. We'll talk about what happened to it later, including when it became a post-apocalyptic town for Star Trek. But first, let's look at when Superman and Barney Fife walked the same streets, just not at the same time. In the Adventures of Superman episode, The Deserted Village, about a minute into the start of the show, a man in a radioactive suit walks in front of what would be in a few years to come, the Andy Griffith Show courthouse in Mayberry. It's the building with the large pillars, and right next to it is Floyd's barbershop. Coincidentally, the actress Maudie Prickett, who plays Matilda on this episode, played on 5 episodes of Mayberry RFD and 5 episodes of The Andy Griffith Show. And another actor from this episode who played Dr. Oscar Jessup was Mayberry's dry cleaner for a couple of episodes. Kind of weird, huh?
You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone. Look.
In this scene from The Deserted Village, you can see the church that Andy Taylor and Barney Fife attended. It was called the All Souls Church and was also known as Community Church. We'll see Batman drive by there a little later on in the video. This next scene from the Superman episode, The Monkey Mystery, has Lois Lane and Clark Kent in Metropolis. Watch Lois walk on over in front of the Mayberry courthouse. Andy didn't come out to greet her though, because, he wasn't there yet.
You, looking for me?
Now this time on the episode The Secret of Superman, Lois drives through Mayberry right up past the courthouse and stops about where Floyd's barbershop is, which is the same spot that Captain Kirk walked by with Joan Collins on the Star Trek episode City on the Edge of Forever. Kirk walks right past Floyd's barbershop from Mayberry, North Carolina.
Fascinating.
Another little interesting fact, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy even walk the same area where Opie throws the rocks on the Andy Griffith intro at Franklin Lake. In this scene from the Superman episode Treasure of the Incas, Clark Kent is running from Andy's courthouse into Superman Alley, where he changes to Superman, and he did his takeoff. Superman's alley in Metropolis was also part of Mayberry. In this still from the Andy Griffith Show, you can see the alley between the big 4-story building known as the Mayberry Motel and the theater. Here's the same view from when it appeared on Star Trek. 4 episodes of Star Trek were also filmed in the Andy Griffith set area in the 60s. Now on the Star Trek episode Mary, they turned Mayberry into a post-apocalyptic town. How did they change the city from this broken down shambles back to Mayberry, clean and livable right in time for shooting for the Andy Griffith Show? The show was still filming after all. You remember that episode of the Andy Griffith Show where they had that goat that ate all the dynamite? I wonder if they didn't get him out of town in time before he exploded. Now in the Batman episode, Holy Rat Race, Batman and Robin chase Falseface, that's the bad guy, past Gomer's Marine Base right into Mayberry. It's amazing that they made us believe on the Gomer Pyle Show that this was an entire Marine base. Check this out, Falseface is turning around, and right to your left, where the arrow's pointing, that's Andy Griffith's courthouse. Batman's buddy, the Green Hornet, roamed the streets of Mayberry too. In the episode Corpse of the Year, Part 1, the Green Hornet appears to be hanging out in Mayberry. In the background, you can see Floyd's barbershop and the courthouse where Andy Taylor works. Later in that episode, Kato and the Green Hornet chase a phony Green Hornet all through the streets of Mayberry. Unfortunately, the Mayberry Metropolis set, which would have been an amazing piece of history today, was torn down in 1976. The 40-acre sets now house an industrial park and television studios. I personally find this extremely disappointing that the buildings are no longer there. How could they not see how much historical significance was in this set? They could have made it a huge tourist attraction. I'd pay to walk the same streets as Superman, Andy Taylor, and Captain Kirk, wouldn't you? There's one more link from Superman the Mayberry that I can think of, and that's the 5th season episode, The Town That Wasn't, that features Dick Elliott before he became the mayor of Mayberry on the Andy Griffith Show. If you'd like to see more about that episode, check out my Adventures of Superman 5th season Goofs video. And I'd like to thank the people that helped me figure out which Batman episode went with this picture right here. Thanks, y'all, and have a great day. And please comment. Let me know what you think about the video. And, hit the like and the bell. If you hit the bell, it'll let you know whenever I put out a new video. Appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a great day.